Hi, good evening, and welcome to your Monday live reading. I'm not in my office because I have a sleeping puppy down here. Tom is not home to watch her, and I didn't want to disturb her. I am at the beck and call of this tiny, tiny dog. So I hope everybody's well. I had fun writing today. I'm really enjoying where this is going. It's a bit different, isn't it? It's quite interesting this time. I'm really trying to like keep up with what's happening and what the plot is and like what twists and turns I've already written in. Oh, hello. Somebody wants to come and listen to the story. She's very tired, but she's just stropping around, climbing all over me. And every time I do anything that she doesn't like, she strops somewhere else. Um, Hello, everyone. Oh, it's so nice seeing so many familiar faces and all the new people that have been getting involved. It's been so lovely. I think Penny, you got really into it. I can't remember who else I've been chatting to in the comments, but it's been lovely. And thank you to those people that donated in the coffee from Friday's video. I really appreciate that. It's so kind of you. Thank you very much. Oh, thanks for the recommend on the Castival podcast, Mystic. That's my friend Matt Hoss, who does that podcast, is one of my favourite people in the world. I love him. He's always my technician in Edinburgh when I do my shows. And he's just the sweetest, most lovely, helpful, wonderful person. And I did try and tell him I don't like festivals and I wasn't the right guest, but hey, we did it. Right. So Ben's late. Don't worry. We're only here. We're live, Laura. What's the mask emoji mean? Are we dying? I don't. Oh yeah, that's a good Maki. Yeah, sushi. That's what she's named for. Right, we should probably do the chapter, shouldn't we? Exciting. Yeah, all right, let's see. So it was chapter 5 was the last one, wasn't it? Yes, and you voted on the color of the stone. I really, really enjoyed how much you all thought it through. There were several really great comments on it, and I was like, oh, because it's really, I'm trying to really make sure everything what's it called really sways the storyline at the moment, and I have no idea where it's going because I gave the 4 color options and I thought, oh, at some point over the weekend I'll decide what each color would mean, and then when I wrote them and then I counted up your votes, so I always try and make sure I know what each thing means before I count your votes up, and I sort of like, so put out the 4 things, and then I did not expect the color to win that won. So it was the one that I'd sort of written in going, oh, well, that if it's that, but that probably won't happen. So, and all my days, is that not what you voted for? So, yes, this is good. Oh, she's so beautiful. I love her so much. Oh, it's quite nice having a night off, though. I think I gigged like 5 nights last week, and I got tonight off, and then I'm gigging all of this week, I think, right up till Sunday. Was having a little pump? Well, just go and sleep somewhere else if you don't like me squiggling. I'm in charge. I'm not in charge. She can have whatever she likes. So, you recall, Neil says, I seem to recall we voted bizarrely several times with Emma. You did. Like, but this time, like, the beginning votes are always interesting because it's shaping what the story's going to be. Like, I genuinely had no plan of the plot for this book at all. And I still don't really. I'm just like, it's switching massively with each chapter. So that's really interesting. Like, later on, once it's all established, and then the votes start to like change what could happen to them and sway it. But at the moment, it's still really setting up the plot. Which is exciting. Mackie dog, this is ridiculous, you little teenager. Right, let's read, shall we? I'm excited. I want to know what you think. Chapter 6. So yeah, so at the end of the last chapter, they're just having a rest in the rain. They've rolled the stone onto the cloth, ready to take it back down below. Chapter 6. Maureen sat quaking outside the black door, listening to the shouts and bangs coming from the other side of it. She had been sat there for almost an hour, worrying over every possible eventuality. Her comrades surrounded her, sitting equally tense and not making eye contact. The day before, they had woken from their brief rest in the flower bed and set to work under Ezria and Esma's supervision to remove the stone from its muddy bed. It had taken as much energy as each of them had to drag it under the cover of darkness back to their hole and then maneuver it down into the caves below. Maureen had been astonished when they got below to see that the stone wasn't at all what she had imagined. The top surface had been a shining metal, but when it had rolled and she had seen the underside, she had seen an oily, shimmering blue erupting from within the metal casing. Typo, Tom's not home to check it on the metal casing. Now she understood why they were calling it the Lost Stone. It was a stone. It was glittery and had depth and movement to its colour. Not a matte blue or a single blue or even all blue at all. It played about in the light and the shadow and seemed almost to produce its own little hum of light. Maureen was transfixed. It had been whisked away quickly by Ezria to the testing laboratory. Teams of Tingians in sturdy suits had put it on rollers and trundled it down the transport tunnels to the specially designed bed that would house it safely. Ezria had stood the team down then, thanking them for their service and telling them to go to get some rest. Maureen had slowly, cautiously felt like she was defrosting, as Ezria's attention had not returned to her specifically. Oh, we need an accent for Lork. What accent do you want? This was our jolly, muscly person from the company. What accent would you like for Lork? I've just noticed I've got a real spriggy bit of hair going that way. Now, either I have been forgetting to shave or has got caught in the shave from this one. Dutch or Yorkshire, there's 2 votes for Welsh. I should do a countdown time. I should do 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 do. That's Rose Mackie up now. Oh, Mac, you can't lie on the keyboard. Oh no, she's typing in the Mac. Oh no. Okay, there's quite a lot. There's 3 Welsh. Oh, Mackie's typed all over the story. Oh no. No, it's okay. I can fix it. Don't worry, I fixed it. She did not like the countdown music. It really woke her up. Now she's cross again. Right, we'll go Welsh for Lork. It's tradition, isn't it? Where do we get to? Shall we grab a tank? Lork had called to the group, nodding her head in the direction of one of the root ale holes. A tired but enthusiastic cheer went up. Despite their fatigue, they all knew they wouldn't be able to sleep straight away, even if they went home and tried. There was something about the topside air that just woke your mind up more somehow. No one could explain what it was, but every cell in your body felt more awake, fizzier, rejuvenated after an hour topside. When you lay down and tried to sleep, your brain just turned over and over with ideas and thoughts and imaginings you'd never conceived of before. A tank of root ale was a good way to dull the excesses of the topside giddiness. The group had begun to move off when Maureen felt a firm hand on her shoulder and turned to see Ezria eyeing her. Maureen's shoulders sunk, and not just from the weight of the hand. You still have my gloves, Ezria said quietly. Maureen looked down to see that she was indeed still wearing the thick gloves Ezria had given her to avoid her skin touching the lost stone. She pulled them off and packed them together, offering them over to Ezria silently. Ezria looked at them. You can give them back to me tomorrow when you join me in my office at Second Beats. Maureen felt her stomach vanish again. She had been summoned to the office of Ezria Talaglashi for the 2nd time. The first time had been to be welcomed to the company, and the second, she felt sure, would be to be dismissed. That's a terrible sentence, isn't it? Would be to be dismissed. Would be to be. Oh, that woke her up too. You're not liking my noises, are you, little baby dog? You don't like my noises. Go and sleep over there. No, you're just going to sleep across the sofa. Sure, whatever makes you happy. Have we given, yeah, we don't give the main character an accent because I can't remember to do it well enough. Okay, good point. Second Beats, she confirmed, and then hurried after her company to drown her sorrows. They had drunk for a few hours until Mac, she's now highlighted a load. I'm worried she's going to delete a load of it. There we go. She's pumped off over there now to have a lie down. Hopefully that's her off my lap I love her to pieces, but she gets sulky in the evening when she's tired and she wants company, but she doesn't want to be fussed. And so she just can't stay still. Bless her. Blue stone is the heart of the ocean. Ezria is a French girl. Mystic, you are being saucy today. Saucy. Where are we up to? Right, they had drunk for a few hours until even Lork's hardy eyes began to droop. The root ale and the dissipating adrenaline had a soporific effect on all of them, and one by one they made their ways to their homes to rest up. Marine felt like she weighed as much as the biggest earth clod. She was so tired and disappointed and angry with herself. It was bitterly unfair. She hadn't asked for the rain to stay away from her. She stomped home, and as she turned the corner onto her street, her foot landed right in the midst of a pool of water that had gathered on the floor from one of the air holes to the surface. The water splashed up her leg, leaving muddy, wet scarring all over her clothes. "Oh, now I'm not waterproof," she shouted, exasperatedly into the darkness. And in the nearest house, she heard a baby start crying immediately and a glow lamp come on. She scurried close in to the walls so that her neighbour would not see that it was she who had woken the baby. How had today gone from being all her dreams coming true to a total nightmare? Marine had fallen into bed, ready to sleep. She didn't even care if she slept straight through and missed second beats. What more did she have to lose? As it had turned out, Marine would be woken well before second beats by a loud banging at the door. Her father had got to it first, and by the time Marine made it down to the bottom of the stairs, both her mother and father were stood looking blearily at a smartly dressed corporal on the doorstep. "Marine Skylorn?" asked the corporal, looking over the shoulders of Marine's parents. "Affirmed," Marine said automatically. "You are to report to the office of Vanweer immediately." With that, the corporal turned on his heel and marched away from her front door. Marine didn't know where to look. Her parents looked desperately worried at her. "Marine, what's happened? Was the mission not a success?" asked her father, worried. It was fine. I'm not sure," said Marine, unsure whether to lie or tell the truth or what might constitute either of those anyway. She had rapidly pulled on her uniform and boots and raced out the door to catch a pull raft to the office of Vanweer. She had arrived to find half her company already seated and looking uncomfortable. She'd joined them on the wooden benches and remained there all morning. The rumble of second beats passed through the legs of the wooden bench she was sat on, and she reflected on the fact that she was supposed to be in Ezria's office right now. But instead, here she was, sat outside the office of Vanweer, listening to Ezria receive a blasting from the highest position in the Tingian military. What on earth could have happened? Eventually, long after the rumble of third beats had passed through the floor and benches, the door opened, and Ezria Talaglashi stepped through. The company gasped as one. Ezria was stripped of her sash and hat. Ezria had been dismissed. Okay, we need an accent for Vanweer. What would you like? I've used a couple that you suggested. I had used Welsh, and I've used sort of West Country Cornish for the corporal. What would you like for Vanweer, who is the supreme ruler of Tingian military? German? Yeah, we could try. Evil and evil accent German. Dutch, Vanweer, it has come out quite a Dutch name. I mean, not that my German and my Dutch will sound particularly different, to be honest. Let's go Dutch, shall we? It suits the name, and it'll be very similar to the German, so Claire and London won't mind. Posh English, like all proper bad guys, not bad. Spanish, well, I have been doing my Spanish Duolingo. Let's go Dutch, it suits the name, doesn't it? How do you do Dutch? It's sort of like this, isn't it? Yes, okay. It's not at all. Vanweer stood behind her, smirking, a self-satisfied look on her face. "Breath Company, what you retrieved last night from Sean Connery. This isn't Dutch at all. It's not Dutch at all." Shane, you've only offered one accent. You can't put sad faces in the comments for always being disappointed when Mexican is all you ever suggest. So let's try Dutch. I'm Dutch. I don't know how to do Dutch. Okay, it's going to be something like this. Oh, this is hateful, isn't it? I'll make a noise. You decide what accent it is. There we go. That's more fun, isn't it? Breath company. What you retrieved last night from the top side was not the lost stone. I would like to thank you for your dedication and apologize that you have been so poorly led as to have wasted. You're going to have to read the blog to figure out what's happening in the story at this point. Apologize that you have been so poorly led as to have wasted your energy and your time on retrieving what is nothing more than a trinket. Talaglashi has been stripped of her rank and dismissed from my service. It is Swedish, isn't it? It's dreadful. I don't know how to do Dutch, is the truth of it. You will be informed of how your company will be continued. I'm so glad Tom isn't here for this. Mackie's died of embarrassment. Dutch. No, that's just a lisp. Oh my God, I can't do oh, I'm going to have to write more for Vanweer after this, aren't I? This is all you're going to want now. You will be informed of how your company will be continued when I have made a Dutch further decision. Oh, dismissed. Right, she's finished talking now. Vanweer looked Ezria up and down as though she were worthless, and then turned smartly and re-entered her office. Shall I put subtitles on everything Vanweer says, just so that you can follow the story that might be needed? Oh, God, that was horrible, wasn't it? I'm sweating. Vanweer looked Ezria up and down as though she were worthless, and then turned smartly and re-entered her office, closing the door as she did so. There was silence in the little waiting enclave. Marine thought she saw. I spelled that wrong. Marine thought she saw a slight tremble in Ezria's legs. Then, as one, the company removed their hats and lined up on either side of Ezria, bowing their heads and creating an avenue of honor for their beloved leader to walk down with pride. Oh, I love that I've capitalized pride. That tells you I've lived in Brighton for a long time, doesn't it? Ezria smiled, a single tear forming in the corner of her eye. She nodded gratefully at the behavior of her company and then made her way out. Marine felt her legs twitching as she watched Ezria turn the corner away from the company. She glanced up at Lork, Kuran, and the others and then dashed off down the path towards Ezria. She skidded around the corner and collided with Ezria immediately. Marine bounced off the sturdy ex-captain, and landed with a bump on the floor. She looked up to see Ezria grinning down at her. Amazing, said Ezria, smiling. I hoped you would follow me, but I didn't dare hope you'd be that speedy. She offered Marine a hand to help her up. What happened? Asked Marine, bewildered. Vanweer is lying. I'm sure that was the stone. They've dismissed me to cover it up, but with your help, I'm going to expose Vanweer's entire regime. Dun, dun, dun! Cliffhanger! End of chapter 6. So just in case you missed what Vanweer was saying because of somebody's poor acting work, Vanweer has fired Ezria Talaglashi because the stone that they retrieved was not the lost stone after inspection in the laboratory. And but Ezria thinks Vanweer is lying and has asked Marine if she will help her expose Vanweer. But is it? We don't know. Who's good? Who's bad? You haven't decided yet. The voting will tell all. So yeah, doof, doof, doo, 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 doo. Your question for Wednesday. Now, Wednesday will be a pre-record. I'm sorry about that, but I'm gigging in Bath, and I'm not sorry about that. I'm also in Bristol tomorrow. I don't know if any of you are Bristol-based. I don't think many of you are really even UK-based, are you? But if you're in Bristol tomorrow night, I am gigging at a place. I've completely forgotten what it's called. I'm really good at my own PR. Also, my tour show is back on in Bristol. Anyway, stop it. Do this another time. Good. So, your question, when does Ezria plan to use Marine to expose Vanweer? So, your choices are they going to try that night? Are they going to try in a week? Are they going to try next month? Or are they going to try right now? So I'm kind of, do you remember when we had to vote for Emma, how long she was going to take to text Theo? Bwomp, bwomp, bwomp! You get to decide timings again. Oh, hi, Melissa. You've only just realised it's happening again. Yeah, I was just literally saying I'm terrible at my own PR. I never know how much to tweet about this stuff because I don't want to annoy people if they're like, we know you're writing a story, you mad bitch. We don't want to go. Or whether to keep banging on because every now and again people are like, how have I only just found this? I missed it. So spread the word. It's better if you guys spread it. Than me because I feel like I just bleat on about the same thing. Don't worry, Theo is not coming back to the story as much as Dirkus would love it. So when does Ezria plan to use Marine to expose Vanweer? Are they going to go that night? Are they going to go in a week? Are they going to go next month? Or are they going to go right now? What do you want? So those are your choices. Get voting. I will be pre-recording probably Wednesday afternoon and I'll set it up to go out Wednesday night. I've been doing it at 10 p.m. just to keep it regular, but it occurs to me I could set it for earlier if people have early bedtimes. But I know like Kim gets up in Australia to watch it. So maybe 10 p.m. is good. So yeah, get voting and I will get writing on Wednesday and we'll be back for a live one on Friday. So I will see you then. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.